Hi, welcome to Wellness Summer Series with me, Mags from Wild Soul Yoga and Wellness. So I have ran these lives a couple of summers now. We usually have loads of amazing guests, manifestation experts and founders, and a lot of Irish female wellness, beauty, business women. And this year, it's just me because I have a lot of knowledge and it's about time I shared it. And I'm using a lot of the questions that my community have asked me about different topics related specifically to wellness and specifically to Ayurveda. So I am trained in Ayurveda and Ayurvedic nutrition and also holistic health coaching as well as yoga. And first of all, what is Ayurveda, just really quickly before we get into talking about all things supplements tonight. So Ayurveda is a sister science to yoga. It's over 5,000 years old and is holistic healing modality and also way of life, way of being, way of eating, way of being in tune with nature and being in tune with yourself. So science of life actually translates into the science of life. So we're talking about supplements tonight. So I'm going to talk about Ayurvedic supplements, and we're also going to talk about like more modern Western supplements. So I kind of jokingly call this supplements East versus West, but actually there is no competition. My theory is to combine both the same way. You don't have to choose between holistic medicine and Western medicine. I like to combine both. I like to do whatever my body needs, and that's my ethos, and I suggest you do the same. So I'm going to introduce you to some, or maybe you've heard of them, so let me know, some Ayurvedic supplements, and then I'm going to talk you through my current supplement regime and talk about all of my favorite supplements. So I kind of like self-confessed supplement queen. I love supplements because I think they're like one of the easiest, handiest ways to kind of take control of your health and your wellness. And I think taking control is like a big part of it because, the health service maybe not so good. It's hard to get to see GPs. We've got conflicting advice all the time. So anything that we can do to kind of advocate for ourselves and look after ourselves is good. So one of the questions I get asked about supplements, and when I have holistic wellness clients, one of the things that they tell me is that they buy supplements and then they don't take them. That's the biggest thing. They don't take the supplements. So what I always recommend for that is that you habit stack. So literally habit stacking is when you put a new good habit on top of something that you already do. So for instance, if you brush your teeth every morning, and I should hope you do, you could habit stack scraping your tongue. We'll talk about that in another episode. You could use mouthwash afterwards. You could do oil pulling, whatever it is. So you're habit stacking onto brushing your teeth. Maybe you spend 10 minutes doing your hair in the morning, straightening your hair, curling your hair, whatever. You could listen to a morning affirmation track. So that's something you do. You plug in your straighteners, your GHD or whatever, and then you press play on your Spotify, your Insight Timer, or whatever app you use, and you play your affirmation. So that's habit stacking. So that's the biggest tip I can give you for actually taking your supplements is two things. One is the habit stacking, and the other one is to make taking your supplements actually something that you enjoy doing. So all of these kind of wellness things, like if we don't enjoy them, we're not going to do them. Like if we hate sea swimming, we hate cold water, we ain't going to keep that up. If we actually don't like too much heat, we're not going to go to a sauna every week, no matter what memberships we buy. So make your supplements something that you enjoy doing. And one of the ways I do that is by not putting them away in a press where they're going to be forgotten about, but actually, having them on display and having them in something nice. So you can see here that I have this nice, I buy every raffia, seagrass, anything that's like a natural texture. I'm trying to see if I got any examples here. I've got a straw basket there. I usually have a rug here. I put it away because I was just literally teaching just before I came on. I was just teaching here. So I just rolled up the mats and I haven't put back out my rug. So this lovely box is where I keep my supplements. and that stays on the counter. It's not, it's either on the counter or it's on the kitchen table. It's not put away in the larder where I'm going to forget, and then it's going to be like, oh, I haven't taken that supplement in a week. And then I actually hear people, saying, oh yeah, I bought that, yeah, it didn't work for me. And like half the packet is still there in the press. So as I said, I'm a supplement queen, but I try not to take too many at the same time, because they can interact with each other, and also it can be hard to take that many. Just not so good on the digestive system. And while I'm mentioning the digestive system, just to mention, as I said at the start, I'm training Ayurveda, Ayurvedic nutrition, holistic health coaching. I have another qualification I always forget about in sports nutrition, but I'm not a doctor. So everything that I suggest to you are just suggestions, just ideas based on my own knowledge, my own education, my own learning, and my own experience and my own preferences. So anything that you take from this, and even when I'm working one-to-one with people, anything that I suggest is a suggestion and not a prescription. So anything that you kind of like the sound of, you go and you research it and make sure if you're on antidepressants or there's so many different conditions. Antidepressants can interact even with cacao. So you want to make sure that if you're on medication that it's, everything is fine. So we're going to get into, first of all, the Ayurvedic supplements, and then I'll talk you through my favourite of the Western supplements. So the first Ayurvedic supplement I want to talk to you about is Ashwagandha. Now, to me, Ashwagandha is so mainstream now. Even my local chemist here in Concealy had it written in the window for ages. I passed the day and that sign seemed to be gone, but it was there for so long. I don't even know what brand it was, but Ashwagandha in big letters. I had a GP consultation last week, and the doctor, talking about the menopause, and the doctor told me to get Ashwagandha, to which I just laughed. I was like, I'm actually an Ayurvedic nutritionist. And it's every second person I meet is either on Ashwagandha or they've heard of Ashwagandha, and then it's the extreme, the other way. Everyone else that I've said it to has never heard of it. So everyone's either really familiar and is taking, or has never heard. So Ashwagandha, I would consider Ashwagandha as a mood enhancer. So I buy the the purest form when I'm in India. So I visit India once a year for the last 4 years, and I'll be going again next year. So that'll be 5 consecutive years. So I bring back as many supplements as my massive suitcase can take. Supplements, tongue scrapers, cacao, all sorts of stuff. So Ashwagandha is number one. If I'm short on the Ashwagandha for myself, I will hold it for the winter. Because it is a mood enhancer, I prefer to take my limited supply in the winter when we're more prone to SAD and the weather is a little bit more depressing. If you are prone to SAD, you'll know what I mean. If you are, even in the summer, I'm very affected by the amount of sunlight. So I would keep my Ashwagandha for the winter if I was in short supply. Just be careful if you're buying it in Ireland. Just double check the ingredients. You don't want it, coated in bovine. Bovine is cow. Cow has no place with Ashwagandha. I'm a vegetarian anyway, but it's absolutely insane that you'd put cow, which is not even eaten in India, with an Indian supplement, and such an Indian supplement. So Ashwagandha, it's being used for menopause. As I said, a GP told me, and this is why I sometimes you go to the GP and you want an antibiotic or whatever, and when they suggest something holistic, you're like, that's brilliant, that's great. But I really don't appreciate paying €70 for 10 minutes to be told to take honey and lemon, which is what happened to me before. So Ashwagandha, as I said, is about taking control, advocating for yourself. Ashwagandha, it's an adaptogenic, known as a mood enhancer. I'm just looking at my notes here. If you know what your Ayurvedic dosha is, it is good for all doshas. But if I had the choice and I had the availability, if somebody is very Vata or has a Vata imbalance, and if you have a Vata imbalance and you've had a consultation, you'll know that I'm talking to you, then Brahmi would be my recommendation. So blanket kind of thing, Ashwagandha. If you're Vata, go for Brahmi. Okay. Now, Triphala. Triphala is the second one of the kind of big 5 Ayurvedic ones. Triphala is made from 3 different plants combined together. So like the word Triphala, tri would be 3, and like a lot of kind of language root word. So it's made from three different fruits, and it's for your digestive health. So this is another one that I would bring a load back from India and sell to my clients, and bring back for my clients and friends and family. Triphala supports your digestive health. It's not a what's the word? A laxative. So what happens sometimes is that people are afraid to take it then because they think that it's going to make them go more often. So in Ayurveda, ideally, this is the ideal scenario, is that you get up in the morning and the first thing that you do is eliminate. So you have a bowel movement first thing in the morning, and then that's you for the day. So Triphala supports that idea. So if you were to take it and then you found you were going too much, it might be the case that there's something kind of else going on with your fibre or your food, but it shouldn't actually. Or if you are prone to constipation and then you take the Triphala and you're a bit looser, it might be that it's just kind of evening things out, if you know what I mean. So Ashwagandha for the food, Triphala for digestion. And again, I recommend Triphala for any of the doshas. Okay, Brahmi I've mentioned already. It's a mood enhancer as well, and it's more suited to Vata. So it's for cognitive function, memory, and overall brain health, she says as she reads it. Yeah. The Vatas, because they're air, they're usually the most kind of airy, maybe a little bit forgetful kind of the doshas. So Brahmi just supports them a little bit better than the Ashwagandha. Now, moving on to turmeric. So turmeric, or whatever way some people pronounce it, I say turmeric. Pretty well known for sure, getting bigger all the time. Members of my own family, I'm telling them years, it's an anti-inflammatory, it is powerful. When we consume it in our food, because it's got such a strong flavour, like in a big like dish or a big curry that will do you a few days, you might only have a teaspoon of turmeric in it. So if you have inflammation in your body, you need, that's not going to really cut it. It's good, but it's not, you need to go bigger here. So you need to look into a turmeric supplement. And also there's also turmeric teas as well. So all these little things support, but if you know that you have inflammation, then a turmeric supplement. So as I said, getting bigger all the time, there's loads of people in my family, rheumatism and different inflammatory processes, and I'm telling them to get the turmeric. They don't listen to me, and then they go and see a consultant or GP, and guess what? They are now telling the patients to get turmeric. So they're all on the turmeric. Holland & Barrett get huge tubs of turmeric. And yeah, absolutely support yourself with it in the food as well and in the herbal teas, but get yourself a supplement. Now, two more. Shatavari. Now, the interesting thing about the Shatavari, okay, this is for the ladies, for the reproductive health, whether it's menstruation, whether it's menopause. Shatavari is the one for that. And again, it's one that I would be asked to bring back from India as well. So I have this one here. Here's one I made earlier. Shatavari. It says Shatavari Churna. So churna means powder. So sometimes, when I wasn't familiar, I was thinking I was buying the tablet form for people, and I was actually buying the powder. Powder, just like liquid supplements, are going to be more kind of powerful because they're more easily absorbed, a bit quicker absorbed. So, and as I said earlier, sometimes we don't know what is used as a coating on the tablets or the capsules or whatever. So I would go for powder if at all possible. I have a teaspoon of this mixed in water, and it really doesn't taste like much. Now I bought the Triphala for people in powder form, and they're like, I can't take it. The Shatavari is actually fine, hasn't got much of a taste, pretty neutral. But the really interesting thing about Shatavari is try to remember this word, because I think this is going to be the next ashwagandha here in the West, and I'll explain why in a second. So that is for the reproductive health. It also has kind of cooling properties, so it's ideal for those that are Pitta dosha, like myself. I'm Pitta dosha, and I'm currently in I'm always hot anyway, but I'm currently in a very hot period of my life. So if you know what I mean here, shatavari will be good for you. And finally, we have tulsi or tulsi. I'll say tulsi. It's for your respiratory system. So anybody who is prone to any sort of recurrent respiratory issues, allergies, asthma, all that, then tulsi is the one for you. It is a plant, of course, like all of them, and for any dosha that's prone to respiratory, but particular the coughs, because mucus is can be an issue with people who are kapha. So tulsi would be kind of nearly a blanket one that I'd recommend for the coughs, unless they have never had a respiratory issue in their life. But if they have, then tulsi. And tulsi. The interesting thing about the tulsi, and I've taken it myself, and I've had clients like beg me. I ended up selling my own supply to a client who was like ran out of it and was like, I need this. Don't get high on your own supply, as they say. But the interesting thing about the tulsi is that I was in the Hare Krishna temple in Fermanagh, and they do like this ritual in the morning where they give you like a tulsi kind of mixed with yogurt onto your hand and you drink it. And the mad thing was, it actually made me feel really sick, which was so weird because I took the tulsi for so long. There's also things that you can do as well, which I haven't done yet, where you can make a paste. And that's one of the reasons the powders can be more beneficial. And actually, like, you paint it on. I suppose it would be like a 5,000-year-old version of Vicks, I guess. So, they are the 5 Ayurvedic. Is that 5? Well, it's 6 if you include the Brahmi. So, Ashwagandha, we'll see it everywhere. No? Triphala, you won't, you will get it, or you'll get it online. That's for your digestion. Ashwagandha is for the mood. Triphala is for the digestion. Turmeric for anti-inflammatory. We're all very familiar with turmeric, I think. Brahmi, another mood enhancer, but more for the brain and the cognition. Shatavari for the women's health. And tulsi for respiratory. Now, I'm going to let the shatavari lead me into the first of the supplements, of the Western supplements, that I want to show you and I want to talk about, okay? So this is a brand new supplement to me. I'm not familiar with this brand. They're called Key. I think they are, as far as I know, they are a female-founded Irish brand. I never heard of them till last week. This is a menstrual cycle support supplement. It says with herbals, botanicals, vitamins and minerals. Now, I haven't started it yet because, to be honest with you, my cycle has disappeared, and whether it comes back or not, I'm not sure. If it comes back, I will be taking this. The second it comes back, I'll take this. So I'm reading about the breakouts, the headaches, fatigues, and all of the different symptoms that are tackled. And when I looked at the ingredients, the first ingredient before ashwagandha was shatavari. This is the first time that I personally have seen shatavari in a Western supplement. So I think, this could be a sign that it's going to be the next big thing here after ashwagandha. So that is by Key, and that is a friend of mine, I think, started it, and she told me, there's two tablets in it. So Essentials blend and Remedy blend. So yeah, I don't have a lot of information about how much it is or anything because I haven't started it yet, but the rest I definitely do. Okay, so that's the first one that I wanted to talk about. So, if you like to keep things simple, you just want to take one supplement and that's it. You're just not open to all of this. Just give me one and done. I'll have it stack it on my breakfast. I'll keep it on my counter in a nice container. Well then, what I would recommend for you of the Western ones is the Ultimate One a Day by Aya. I'm sorry if I'm making jangly sounds here. So Aya, a great supplement brand. They've got a great range, really effective. Not crazy expensive or anything. There are like realistic prices. I swear by their electrolytes. They are actually really nice. They're way nicer than like Diorite or anything like that. Electrolytes are an essential to me, especially in this warm weather, especially when flying, especially when traveling to hotter countries, sports, anything like that. If you were sick, if you have stomach bug, anything like that, your family members, electrolytes, it's not just for like, I know people take them with like severe hangovers and vomit and stuff. If you've got low blood pressure like me, I kind of live on electrolytes. I bring them to classes and things and be sipping on them. If you don't happen to have the AA one, then make the very least Himalayan pink salt or Celtic salt, but pure salt, a little bit in water. Not so you tastes like seawater, but like a little bit of salt in the water will kind of get you through till you get your electrolytes. And also a natural electrolyte is coconut water. Coconut water is amazing. It's nature's electrolytes. It saved me one time when I had the norovirus, and I'm fully convinced I would have had to go to A&E, end up on a drip if it wasn't for the tiny little sips of coconut water managed to get into me it took me like 24 hours. So I do a really good electrolyte. This is the ultimate one a day. So I'm trying to think like giving you like an honest, balanced, pros and cons to different things. The only con that I have with this one, and I know their PR, and she said it as well, is that it does change the colour of your urine. So it makes your urine more yellow. So that's like, how does that inconvenience your life anyway? It doesn't. It's just, if you're not expecting it, you might think that there's even infection or something. No, it's just that water soluble vitamins, because they come out of us. If you have too many of them, they just come out. I don't know if you remember, I learned this in home economics, water soluble and fat soluble vitamins. It's the only bit I remember. Okay, so that's the ultimate one a day. I take this. At the moment, I'm also taking another AA product, and that is the evening primrose oil. Evening primrose oil, you probably know this, it's pretty kind of well known. The evening primrose oil is for PMT, premenstrual tension, premenstrual syndrome. So I would kind of equate evening primrose oil to being like the Western herbalism version of Shatavari being the Eastern India one. So they would kind of have a similar function, I would say, except evening primrose oil, I haven't heard it being used for the menopause the way I have about Shatavari. Shatavari would be women's health regardless of the era of life, whereas evening primrose is more for the menstruation. So they're the two that I'm taking at the moment. I also have some liquid supplements here. This one is actually something I add to cacao. It's not really a supplement, but this one is one that's new to me, and it's by the same brand, Key, that do this menstrual one. And this is a botanical. Do you know, this is a little bit like CBD, but it's not actually CBD. It's got valerian in it. Valerian is a herb that helps you to relax and helps you to sleep. So you probably see it in a lot of teas mixed with chamomile. So like there's a lot of like parallels between like herbalism, for want of a better word. I'm sure there's another word that describes it. And Ayurveda, except that Ayurveda is from India, and herbalism would tend to be the herbs from where you are and where you live and where you're from and all that. But it's the same idea as, using nature and using natural remedies. So natural remedies, let's say. So I've made a list of the other supplements. I kind of go on and off different things. As I said, I try not to take like more than 3 or 4. And if I'm taking a lot, then I'll take one with each meal, so that they're not kind of directly interacting, or they're not like upsetting my stomach or anything like that. So I've made a list. First one is Active Iron. The brand is Active Iron, and the supplement is called the Immunity. Is it Active Immune? So Active Immune, and I've full disclosure, I've worked with this brand. I've done like campaigns with them, and I've been taking that. Now I'm not taking it at the minute just because I'm in between boxes or whatever, but it's one that I've taken a lot in the last 5 years, and it is for your immunity. So there's vitamin D in it. So again, a little bit like with the ashwagandha, if you're not going to take it all year round, then for sure take it in the winter. So it would be, as soon as like the weather changes, if I haven't already got some, I would get some. So it's called Active Immune. It's about €12, and I think they do now a subscription model as well, so you don't have to remember to order. And I have to say that they are very fast delivery. Anytime I've ordered it and I've shared a code, I probably still have the code, I'll share it later, and gets you 20% off. Anytime I've shared it, people have messaged me to say they got it really quickly, really happy with it. Said about €12. The discount code kind of eliminates then the postage, so it stays around the €12. They also do iron. Now, because I'm a vegetarian, I don't take their iron. I'm not anemic anyway, but funnily enough, when I wasn't a vegetarian, go figure, I would take, I used to take iron that was prescribed to me. This is years ago now. But for anyone who is anemic or low iron, I would recommend their iron, but just know that it's not vegetarian. And they know, because I've spoken to them lots of times, that if they ever do come up with a vegan or vegetarian iron, that, you know, I want to be involved in that. If you are looking for a vegan iron though, Floridix do a vegan version of their liquid iron supplement, and their supplements are liquid, as I said, and they've got a lot of botanicals in them. They're very natural. They're quite sweet. I think there's honey in the one that's not vegan, but they do have a vegan iron, which is not easy to find, and that is Floridix, a big bottle. You keep it in the fridge. It's very kind of sticky, like if you don't close the lid, there'll be bits coming down and your husband will complain that there's sticky hands on the fridge or whatever. So that's iron and that's immunity. Now, for skin and hair, I have 3 recommendations for skin and hair. First one is a brand called Nutri. They're an Irish brand, female founded. The founder, Anita, is, I think she's a hairdresser by trade. She's lovely. She's actually from quite near where I'm from in town, so we've had the chats. So the skin one is called Glow and the hair one is called Grow. I've taken the skin one loads of times, and I had the honour of having them when they were newly launched at one of my retreats, so everybody got to try the Glow, and the feedback from the Glow and from myself as well was so good. That's about €30-ish, €35. There is a subscription model available, and it's, you know, with these subscriptions, it's always a little bit cheaper if you take out the subscription. I haven't tried the Grow for the hair, but I do actually want to, because my hair for sure has gotten a little bit thinner than usual, and it has amazing reviews. If you go onto a Nutri website, you'll see the reviews for the hair one, the Grow one, are unreal. They're both vegan supplements as well. So you can kind of take it that everything that I'm suggesting is either vegan or vegetarian unless stated otherwise. So that's a Nutri. The other one I recommend for skin, and it's another brand that I've worked with as well, full disclosure, and that is Seabody. I love Seabody. The owner, the founder, Helena, is a doctor, and she has developed this way of extracting the nutrients from seaweed. So from Irish seaweed, being like a lover of the sea, the ocean, I just love the idea of this brand before I even tried it. I love their SPF, which is also a primer. I have their moisturizer. I've had a facial with them. All their products are lovely. They're in like quite distinctive black glass containers that are really recyclable. You know, they're all about sustainability. But they have a couple of supplements. I've taken the beauty one lots of times. I've promoted it. I've done ads for it. My skin always clears up because I am prone to acne. My skin always clears up when I take it. My nails, my hair improves a bit. As I said, it's not as thick as it was 20 years ago for sure. But this Seabody, they've got movement and they've got a digestive one as well. And I just noticed on their stories earlier that they're doing a 60-day challenge. So here's one of the things I like about the Seabody supplements. They are in a 60-day containers. So not only do you not have to remember after a month to go and buy the thing again, whatever, but if you're someone who kind of dips in and out of things and finds it hard to kind of follow through, I guess, you're committing to 2 months. Oh, what I meant there, actually, I'll explain myself better, is if you're someone who expects instant results, and, you know, you need to have a bit of patience with supplements. So if you take one that's a 60-day, you're going to keep going and keep going, and then it's going to be more effective than if you take for 30 and go, oh well, my life's not changed, I'm not getting it again. Go for the 60 days, and that's the great advantage of the Sea Body. They are having a challenge at the moment where you can apply, and if you're chosen, they will provide you with the supplement, completely complimentary. I think they're just looking for feedback, and there's a group set up, and it's a 60-day challenge. So I'd say ideal for those who have never taken a supplement for 60 consecutive days. Go on to Sea Body's stories now and have a look. The other one for skin and hair and for general health would be Sisterly. So Sisterly, another female-founded Irish brand, 3 Irish women. One of them's like a barrister, one of them is, I can't even remember what the other 2 are, one of them a doctor, and I know one of them's a barrister. But Sisterly is in a sachet, so you mix it with water. The advantage of that is that if you are someone who is very busy or leaves the house early in the morning, not going to bring supplements with you, the sachet is just easier. It's great for traveling as well. I bring it on holidays. Even the last event of theirs I was at, they had little drawstring bags for travel, which was great. Now I did try to bring some tablets with me as well, and the tablets went all weird in the heat. So that'll just kind of show you that the sachets can be the way to go when traveling in hot weather. So the Sisterly is all about, it's all in one. It's kind of everything in one, a bit like the Ultimate One a Day, but it's really focused on energy because that's what we want. And they say themselves that your skin and your nails will be the last things to improve, because the way the body works, that it kind of prioritizes different systems when things are going on. So when you're sick, like if you're really sick, your body would prioritize which of the systems are the ones to keep going. Obviously the respiratory system, digestion. Your periods could stop for different reasons because your body's not prioritizing reproduction. What happened with me when I had COVID was my toenails fell off because my body's like, we need to fight this virus. Your hair and your nails don't matter now, they're last priority. So usually, and this is what Sea Body would say, or Sisterly would say, the elevator it's called, is that your skin and your nails will be kind of the last things to kind of improve after being on it for a while. But I always find, and probably because I'm supplement queen, I've taken so much, that my skin, my nails and my hair do grow very fast when I take it. Now I've had a manicure, so I got them taken down, but every time I take Sisterly, because I'm not on it like 365 days a year because it is the most expensive, most high end of all the ones I'm talking about, but my nails get so long that I can't type, I can't do my buttons, I cannot put a necklace on. They're actually like crazy long. So if that's your goal, then I'd say for sure think about investing in the Sisterly. Another one for the PMT is one that I haven't tried, but I heard great things about, and that is Gigi, and that is a sachet as well, I believe. I don't know if it comes in individual sachets or comes in a tub, but I know that they do like a shaker to shake it up. I've had like samples of it, and they did a collaboration with a local coffee shop where they were doing like Gigi matcha drinks. So that's got great reviews as well for PMT. So there's lots of options there for PMT. So I think I've come to the end of what I plan to say. So just a quick little recap, okay? So out of the Ayurvedic ones, the Eastern ones, Ayurveda, as I said, the science of life, sister science to yoga, a holistic way of being, all about being in tune with nature. Let's see if I can name the 6 now without looking at my notes. Ashwagandha for the mood, Triphala for the digestion, Brahmi for the brain. That's easy to remember actually. Turmeric for inflammation, Shatavari for the female reproduction, and finally, what was the last one? It's on the tip. Tulsi for the respiratory system. And then out of the Western, the Irish ones, my recommendations are Aya for their ultimate one a day, evening primrose oil, and the electrolytes. Now they have other ones, they have fish oils, but obviously I'm not going to recommend fish oils because I'm vegetarian. So I love Aya. Active iron, their iron. If you're not a vegetarian, if you are, or a vegan, you go for the Floridix. But definitely check out their immune supplement, especially as when we come into autumn. A Nutri, Glow and Grow. Sea Body, Movement, Digestion and Beauty. Sisterly, the Elevator. GG for PMT. And finally, the one that I haven't actually tried yet, but it has Shatavari in it and I'm fascinated, is Key Menstrual Cycle Supplement. So, I hope that was helpful. Again, don't forget, supplements are just that. They're not a substitute for an unhealthy lifestyle. They are a way of kind of reassuring yourself that, you know, if the rest of your day goes to shit, at the very least you've taken some control of your own health, your own wellness, and you've done something for yourself, and you've gotten that in, whether it's just general health or whether it's specific concerns that we talked about. Habit stack it. Don't tell me you don't eat breakfast. You need breakfast. Habit stack it onto your breakfast. Get yourself a nice bougie tray. You know, what's really lovely is that marble tray that they sell in Rituals. It's supposed to be to put your hand wash and lotions, but I think that'd be gorgeous for supplements. If you're only on like 1, 2, 3 supplements, that'd be beautiful on your kitchen counter. Something like a marble tray, or as I said, I love the natural one, so I've got this tray. And that's it. So I shall see you next week. I suppose I should end by saying that I do offer 1-to-1 Ayurvedic and holistic health sessions. They take place on Monday. They're 90 minutes long on Zoom or in person, and then you've got 4 days of support in case you are in the supermarket or you are in Holdenberg going, what the hell am I getting here? You're very welcome. So let me know what you'd like to talk about next week. I think maybe the oral health in terms of Ayurveda, East versus West, the tongue scraping. I get asked about the tongue scraping a lot, so maybe we can talk about that next week. So let me know anyway. And thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for all the waves and the hearts and the comments coming up. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Namaste.